It's the next day, and I was actually very productive yesterday once I stopped recording. It takes so much time to constantly move the camera around, trying to get the best angles. I think it's kind of cool learning how to video this stuff, trying to get some B-roll to make my videos a little bit better, but it just takes too much time. I got a lot of this done yesterday once I turned the camera off. I've only got about 2 hours to work today, then it's going to be dark. I'm just going to keep working, get as much done as I can. A lot of this wood that's laying down, I want to use it for firewood. I've probably got 10 years worth of firewood laying there. We love to use the fireplace, but this is a lot. This oak tree is huge. But it's been laying here for probably at least 9 months now. And I have found a bunch of termites in it and a lot of other bugs like earwigs, mostly the termites. So that concerns me. I think what I learned, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm not a professional lumberjack, but it seems like once you cut a tree down or knock it down, you really need to cut it up and split it for firewood right away. You need to get it into some kind of storage, get it off the ground. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a bug infestation. So a lot of this wood that I was going to burn as firewood, I'm just hauling it down into my woods and I'm going to let it rot away down in the woods. I think maybe some of this bigger piece will be okay to burn, hopefully. Maybe the termites are just up in here and the other bugs just up in the smaller limbs, but I'm pretty nervous about taking wood with termites into my house. I mean, it's termites, ants, earwigs. I don't want to bring that stuff into my house. I'm noticing a lot of, well, I would call it rot, but you know, a lot of this here. This tree was perfectly healthy when they knocked it down, but already a lot of the top of this huge oak, it's rotten, very dry. I mean, it's been about 9 months. I guess I thought it would take years for it to get into that condition. Now, it'll probably burn really good, but again, with the bugs that I'm finding in it, I'm a little concerned about taking it inside. Lucky for me though, I do have plenty of other trees here. I've actually seen another big oak down here behind my barn in the woods that I'll have to cut down eventually. I mean, I've got no problem finding firewood out here, even if I have to cut down some other trees. So I think for now, to speed things up, most of this black walnut and this big oak, it's just going down in the woods. I just got to get this done so we can try to get this swimming pool started. So what do you think about burning firewood that has bugs in it? Is that a concern for you? Please let me know in the comments below. I've had stacks of firewood before under a shed, and I know it had probably spiders and other beetles or whatever kind of bugs in it. I don't think it had termites because usually I keep my firewood up off the ground. But I'm sure I have taken bugs into the house. I usually only take an armful at a time. probably can't tell in this video because I'm fast forwarding through a lot of stuff as I'm working, but I'm being very cautious as I'm working and walking around all the trees and the underbrush. I think there's a lot of critters that are living in here. I know there are a lot of birds, and I hate to disturb them, but we're trying to get things done here. I'll put in a piece of video right here. I found this little guy yesterday back behind all this stuff, further back in my woods. I was walking around back there, and it was the middle of the day, and this possum was back there. I don't know too much about them, so I had to look it up. I always thought they were nocturnal creatures, and usually they are. I thought you only saw them out during the day if they had rabies, but apparently that's not true. Sometimes when it's really cold, or if they're looking for food, maybe there's a food shortage, they'll be out during the day. I guess that might be if they don't find enough at night to eat. But also, the reason I think that guy was out there was because I disturbed him while he was sleeping. I think somewhere in here there are some nests of some different critters. I've got this area back here cleared off pretty much good enough for the pool, except for these couple of big stumps that I have to drag off. But apparently you have to have a fence around your pool, so I've got to clear off even more in order to have the fence. I don't want the fence right up on the pool. I will be doing that myself, so of course I'll be making a video on that. But we got a pretty good vantage point up here. I've gotten pretty good back in this area here, and we've been pretty productive the last couple of days. I am exhausted though. Carrying around those big logs, nice. I am exhausted and my back is hurting. Carrying around those big logs, I mean, I have to do it. I got to get this done. I don't have a grapple. You can see the homemade forks there. They're working great. The only problem is I have to load it up by hand, which is rough on the back. If you made it this far in my video, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.